Oh, this video, learning about how to work this camera situation and this software, it's going to be the beginning and end of me here on YouTube. I just recorded a 20-minute video, and apparently I didn't have the right screen open on my broadcasting, and I was just recording straight on my face, and I wasn't recording my screen at all. So I'm going to do this real quick, okay, yep, we're recording screen, and we're back in here. So now I'm going to redo this whole video I just did. Every day you see videos of people talking about ICOs that are coming out, and just new stuff, new coins, new things that they're going to invest in. And at the beginning of the video, or at the end of the video, or randomly, they always say that they're not a financial advisor, they're not offering financial advice, and to always go out and do your own research. And I know a lot of people are getting into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and Ethereum or whatever. They're investing in something that is in this space every day, and they don't really understand what even doing their own research is. Maybe they just heard this from a coworker or a friend or a family member, and now they want to get into this whole ICO game because honestly, me and probably a lot of other people think that this is going to be a limited time thing. So you might as well just reap the benefit of it now. And so what a lot of people do is, you might be new to this and you might be wondering how to do your own research or how to find out new cryptocurrencies and how to look through scam coins and look to see if a possible currency or token that you're going to invest in, or a team of developers that you're going to invest in, you want to make sure that they're top notch and they're not going to run off with your money and just stop and run onto a new coin halfway through this development because this one falls through. So I'm going to show you in this video how to do your own research and kind of find out new ICOs and do your own research of how to just find any information about them, the most information you can, hopefully. So one of the pages I use for finding new ICOs is ICOtracker.net. And another one I also use is tokenmarket.net. And you want to make sure both of those are .net when you go to them. I put in .com once in my address bar, and now it just always goes to .com, so I always have to make sure I go to .net. But on these, it will actually show you a little page about everything about the token or upcoming tokens, at least that they know about or that have been submitted to them. And a lot of these tokens that come out, they have to be submitted to these websites. So one website might have 5 of the top new tokens that everyone's talking about coming out. One of the next websites might have 2 of them, and one of the websites might not have any. So it really matters. You want to look on as many of these websites as you can and try to find pretty much as much information or as many tokens that you can find, and do as much research as you can. I mean, if you really want to be successful in this, that's what it's going to take. But even if so, this is just if you pretty much hear about a token and you want to do your own research. So say you came across something. For my example, I'm using this Geyser, so I just went through and did them. So you'll click on Geyser, and from here you'll be able to do a lot of things. You'll be able to see how many coins are in their initial circulation, and that's how many coins are going to be total. And this is how many coins are going to be offered throughout the ICO. So you have 70% coins going to be offered through your ICO, and a lot of other things don't put that in. Some of them will just have like just like the token name of what their tokens are going to be. Like Amber is mesh, so they have just that, and they don't have an official, at least this website doesn't know their official market cap of coins yet, so they don't have that posted. But possibly, well, I'll get into it in a second. But so the next thing that you could find on here is the white paper. And from the white paper, if you read into the white paper, most of them will take you to the same kind of generic like PDF file white paper. You're not really going to see much else. You'll be able to read through here, and a lot of times you'll be able to just go look through the table of contents, and if you look for crowd sale or tokens or something like that, you can go down real quick, and it'll mostly tell you what like the initial supply is of the token, or how at least the tokens are going to be moved around or kind of used once they're accumulated by the company. So on here, it shows you the market cap. It's got all that. These are held in reserve. These are retained. So you want to look initially or usually for a company that is retaining a small amount of coins. If they're retaining 50% of coins or something for their own use, then you probably don't want to invest in them. There's no reason a company, at least a company over like $1 million that they're trying to collect, should ever need to hold on to more than 50% of their token supply. But you'll be able to find how they want to use their tokens and what they want to do with them, how they're going to allocate the tokens after they're done. Like I said, you'll be able to see their team. And from here, you're going to really want to do research too on the individual team members. You're going to want to look up team members. You're going to want to make sure that this name actually matches this guy and that he does match this whole description as much as you can research and find out. Because what a lot of times will happen with these ICOs is people just grab a random LinkedIn picture, they'll link it to a LinkedIn, or a random picture, they'll put it on a LinkedIn that has nothing to do with that, and just try to connect all these pictures to a LinkedIn so people see that it has a LinkedIn, and they won't really question it any more than that. And that's how a lot of these scam tokens even get through. You'll have just people that aren't even real using fake people on their platform and on their project. And so also on here, you'll be able to do a lot of other things. You'll be able to see their Facebook page, all their social media. They got their Medium page, which is where they release most of their information and updates on their current whatever's going on with their coin, their current situation and standings with it. I don't want to scroll the way back down. Oh my. They also have like your Slack channel and Telegram channel you can go to from here. I don't think they must not have a Slack, but a lot of companies, they'll have a Slack here, or if you go back to the website, it'll be listed in here, and you'll be able to click on it. It'll take you to a new page. You can put in your email, and then if you have the Slack app, you can join the Slack channel. And mostly that's the place where the developers or someone close to the development team at least is the most active. So if you do have a question or a concern or anything, mostly you can get on the Slack app and go to their channel, and you could ask, and probably within 10 to 15 minutes to an hour at least, if it's a team that's aware of what's going on and alert in their channels, they'll answer you pretty and fairly quickly, and you can get the straight information straight from a developer or someone that's a part of the team. Also, when you do that, you want to make sure that you're getting it from a person that's on the team and not just a random person in the channel that has someone in the team's name, and that it's got like a period at the beginning or end of it, and they're trying to, then they'll send you like an Ethereum address and tell you to send coins to it for a pre-sale. You don't want to send any coins to any sort of pre-sale addresses in the Slack. You know, I'm sure everybody knows about that. But so you look on here, so this is where to find some ICOs, and then the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to check the authenticity of your ICO and see how good the development team is. Make sure you don't have any developers that could possibly be causing any problems, that could be raising red flags to other people, and they would go on this forum that is bitcointalk.org. And what goes on here is pretty much a bunch of members just talk about everything Bitcoin and Ethereum and cryptocurrency related. You have members that are full members, you have hero members, legendary members, senior members, you have new, everybody. And it's just based on how much you post and all that kind of stuff. Your activity in the channel is what bases your membership. So if you look on here and you have 7 new people that have 3 activity, and they're talking about this coin being the greatest thing and how they've seen it everywhere and it's going to be great, you're probably going to want to do a little bit more research than that. But then again, on the other side of it, if you see a hero member that talks about it being a scam, you're also going to want to look at that hero member and see if they've called out any other coins for scams. If they've had kind of like a negative track record on that, you're going to want to do a little bit more research into why they said it was a scam. And you could possibly find out that it isn't a scam, but just at least prove their red flags of why they thought it was a scam wrong before you'd want to invest in it. Another thing is just in general, adding to that, if anybody in general says something bad, not this comment, but sometimes you'll see people saying this developer left, for an example, this isn't real, but say someone left 10x and went to start a new coin, and 10x started to collapse, or something happened in 10x and they didn't get their way, so they left and they're going to start this new coin. And all of a sudden someone posted that, and you see that, oh, one of these developers is that guy. So maybe he's really not, maybe he is, but you're going to want to at least look into that. It's going to give you a reason to look into it. So every bit of information, even if it's faux, you're going to want to make sure that you can prove that it is not true before you jumped on any conclusions. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to GitHub. Now GitHub, it's going to be a more close to the developer kind of platform. It's going to have all of their contracts, all of their coding that they're doing for this is going to be mostly on GitHub. All their contributions, anything that they've been doing, if there's any problems, if you have a wallet possibly, and maybe you can't open it, it keeps freezing on 49% of the blockchain downloaded, and you can't get past that. So you can come here and you can issue a problem, and you can tell them and say that something's happening, and one of the developers usually will get back to you and they'll tell you what to do, or they'll look into it. It could possibly be a bug that was in this codes or the software to begin with. So a lot of times you'll be able to find all that in here. So if you do have a problem with your wallets or anything of your coins or tokens that you invest in, you always want to check GitHub to make sure that there's no upcoming updates for the programs to fix any bugs that may be possibly affecting you. And then from here, you can also go to, a lot of them have, you can go to their contracts, look at their initial token sale, and if they didn't have their token sale listed back here of how many coins they had and all that, a lot of times you can find it in here. And also, if you have any other questions about the coin, like possibly you want to know if they're making their own blockchain to build off of, or they're on an ERC20 token or something like that. And aside from finding it inside the white paper, if it wasn't easily clear to you at that point, you could also come here, and numerous times throughout here it'll be listed ERC20. You'll also see ERC token. It's normally said a lot of times throughout here. You'll also see in here the amount of coins, like I was talking about, that is available. You'll see the codes that they're going to be using, like the 3-digit alphabetic codes that the exchanges will be using for it, or that mostly the exchanges will be using. This will be what you'll be able to access it through your wallet in. And then you'll be able to also look at when the contract will initially be open. So this contract opens at noon on October 20th, 2017. And also you'll see things, I mean, I'm not 100% sure about this, but this lockup period, it looks like, I'm not really sure what this is, but it could mean that they're locking up the coins for 180 days before you're able to trade them. But I'm not 100% sure on that. You would probably want to go look up that on your own, but things like that would also be in here. So if you do have a thing where your coins are locked up for, you know, possibly 6 months, after you invest in them, you're going to want to definitely take that into consideration, especially if you're paying with Ether, which is usually what you have to pay with on these ERC20 tokens. If Ether goes up exponentially in your time that you do not have it after investing in the 6 months, which is a long time in cryptocurrencyville, then you're going to definitely take a decent hit. And from there, just a lot of other stuff in there you can come across. And then one of the last things that you can also use is Reddit. Now I have this as my last tab because I kind of have this as like with a grain of salt you would use this, because on Reddit anybody can post anything. So you'll have people who are literally just shilling the next token that is coming out because they've invested in it, or they've gotten paid to review it, or they have a bounty for it or something like that, and them and all their friends and everybody are just making accounts and they're telling everybody to invest in it. So you definitely want to be aware of what you're investing in. You want to look on here and you want to make sure that you're not investing in something just because you see it a bunch of times. Although hype is what can mean a larger return on investments, it might not be real hype. So what I also like to do on here is a lot of times, so say you're looking for Geyser, you look up Geyser ICO, but I just looked it up and there was only like one result there, so it's not really a very hyped up subject, and there's nobody that replied to it, so I don't see many people interested in this. But I'm also not investing in this Geyser project. This is just something I use as an example. Use these techniques that I am showing you to do your own research on things, everybody. So what you can look up is just ICO in general, and what I like to do is I like to either look at new or look at ones that have the top comments or something, because if you look at relevance, you could go down to the first one and it's 4 months old, and you go down to one that's 1 month old and 28 days and 26 days. And when you're trading cryptocurrencies, a month and even as much as like 2 weeks, a lot of information can change by then, and you could have already missed the boat and it's already sailing and hit gold land. It's already in Dubai right now and people are buying their Lambos, and that's what will happen if you look at too far behind. So you really want to keep up to date, the newest stuff, or the most comments, to see where the most people are talking, and that's where you're going to get the most information from the most people. So with all this, Reddit with a grain of salt, github.com, I'm going to put all of these down under my video with their links so you can use them too. bitcointalk.org. Make sure that you always use .net, .com, .org on these sites correctly. Not so much for like stuff like this, because they don't really collect anything. But when you log into a site, if you're going to invest in it, like this Geyser, it's .io. So if for some reason you come when this wallet is open and this is able to invest in it in 18 days, and you go to tokensale.geyser.com, that's fake. So you always want to be aware of what is real. You want to make sure that this matches an official source here, and they're also going to put their official source in their GitHub, or in their white paper. So you want to make sure that you are following these .ios, these .coms, .nets, .orgs, everything correctly, because that is how a lot of people are losing a lot of money. It literally takes 10 minutes. If there's a big coin coming out, people could lose $500,000. If you heard about the, what was it, Enigma, I think it was, they said that there was like a wallet that came out and $500,000 got stolen in like 15 minutes before anybody could even realize what was going on, because you have so many people interested and everybody knows they have to send their Ethereum within the first minute or two to even get into it in some of these, and you have so many people just hoping to send their Ethereum, and it's a fake wallet. and they just made more money than they would have ever made investing. So these are all the things you want to be aware of. If you are new, or even if you are not new, you just want to make sure you do your research and use all of these, and use as much as you can. Go to Google and just Google your coin. Google, just like what I saw a bunch of people recently came across, Paragon. Paragon coin. Sorry, what am I typing in here? And like the CEO or something was like in a YouTube video, like dancing around, and then she also has videos on YouTube of her like trying out in bikinis to be in like movie roles, possibly, I don't know, drafted for like modeling, but that's possibly not something you want to invest in. Someone who is like a model, someone who is dancing in Russian or Ukrainian music videos, stripping, you don't really want to invest in a token or upcoming coin, possibly, even though that could be the hype. Everybody's going, yeah, I saw this girl dancing in a video, dude, now she's starting a coin, and that could be where everybody sees, just like how Mayweather talks about all these ICOs on his Instagram. You know, those ICOs, they boom a little bit after they take off, and if you're a good trader, you're going to trade and you're going to take the profit. You can buy back in when it dips back down, but I mean, the end game here is to accumulate Bitcoin. So that's pretty much all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe. I'm going to try to keep coming out with more videos as soon and as frequently as I can. I came out with 2 last night. I kind of had a delay I talked about last night. Over like the past month, I took a break from cryptocurrencies for a little bit with the whole market FUD going on, and I've been heavily engulfed in the whole cryptocurrency verse since about like April. I've really like dove into this heavily, and I've been in it a while, but I really got into it and like really did my research since about then. And after all that, I kind of just needed a break and to just like cool down, and I was just going to let the markets simmer off and do what they want to do. So now I'm back. I'm going to keep these videos coming. I'm going to try to keep as much information coming to you guys as I can, and all I can suggest now is, as soon as you're done with my video, go look at another video from someone else and learn as much as you possibly can, guys. It's an ever-growing atmosphere, and if you want to stay on top of it, you just got to do all the research that you can. So have a great day, everybody.